great, awesome, amazing. Hi, everyone. How are y'all doing? My name is Brittany C. I am a nonprofit strategist, and I wanted to just come on here really quickly and tell you guys about like what's going on in the world. And I'm so sorry. I do not have my notes memorized, and I couldn't even get on StreamYard to do this. This is gonna be like super duper quick. I will have to come back on here and make a longer video and explain a couple things. So thank you guys for joining me. And so what I'm gonna be talking about now is the fate of the federal funding freeze in our future. This is gonna be dubbed as part 6. So I'm gonna talk just a little bit about DEI, which is a diversity, equity, and inclusion. Yes. And why it's like discontinued, why no one in this arena anymore can get funding, is because of the executive order that is now in place by I don't want to say by the temporary restraining order, but it's like government funding, nonprofit funding, like funding for grants, funding for other things. It's at stake, y'all. It's at stake. So because of that not executive order, temporary restraining order that stopped all of this from happening back on January, like at the end of January, or like, was that at the end of January, end of December, wherever this initially took place. So a temporary restraining order from your trusted nonprofit leaders actually stopped the president from executing his plan, which was at the time to shut all sources of federal funding down for 90 days to do cleanup. They're doing the cleanup, as you guys can see, that's why Doge is in effect. More on that later, but this is the reason why certain programs are being shut down. Even like certain programs for education is being shut down, where teachers and students won't qualify for funding or as much funding. It may impact scholarships for education. It may impact, let me see what else. It may impact teachers, because there's a certain percentage of funding set aside for teachers to get training, counseling, education, things of that matter. So thank you guys for popping in on TikTok. Thank you. I appreciate it. But just quickly diving into this, the reason why under DEI, they call it a plan to end radical and wasteful government programs. So they say. I didn't think DEI was wasteful because it was mainly gender-based. It didn't discriminate against you based on your gender or your sexuality. It created more ways to fund and prosper your business, your nonprofit, your program, whatever it was that you needed funding for. Based on this, you were able to get the funding for it. But now it's shut down because of that executive order. But here's the other kicker. Although there's not DEI anymore, you are still held responsible for what you say and not say regarding DEI within your proposals. If you are doing government contracting, if you are writing your foundation and grants, your regular grants, because whenever they go to the funder or the grantor, whoever's giving the money, the funding, wink wink, they are looking for this. So for example, if your DEI was helping young girls find their way, or you're a woman-owned business, something of that nature, DEI is saying that if you are a business, you have to say you're a business, not a woman-owned business. Which this, like I said, for those of you guys who know government contracting, is going to be interesting because they have certificates for women-owned business or economically disadvantaged businesses. So I feel like I don't want to say it's a play on word for the government because the government does its own thing, but I am saying it is going to be interesting to see this. It's going to be very interesting to see how this is going to play out on the government standpoint. But getting back to this, it's basically saying that you have to have inclusive language. It can't be a woman owned something or a male generated something or a girl, boy, you get the gist. It can't be for like it has to be more than just a solidarity reason, I believe. So yeah, that's the big thing. Although there is no more DEI, we're still under that executive order to make this more inclusive for everyone. Them the rules now. And so what I mentioned, I touched on a little bit, is how this is going to change the game for grant writers such as myself, for anyone in the nonprofit space, for anyone who is doing letters of inquiries, corporate partnerships, all types of letters, and the ways that you go to whatever it is that you do to get funded or funding or sponsorship or partners for that. It's changing that entire dynamic. It's changing it. And you will be judged and graded harshly if you include that language that I just mentioned. If you're saying that, okay, I'm a woman-owned business and we help girls and we do that, and you use that language, you will be denied for your grant funding. I never want you guys denied for your grant funding. So I'm telling you this now, do not put that or you will be denied, unfortunately. Now, another question has been asked, it's already been raised, which is, what do you do if, you have, let's just say, Boys and Girls Club of America. Let's say you are a woman-owned business or you are a woman in education and you do train young girls in whatever area of expertise you have, right? So here's the kicker. Because this was already in place long before January 2025, for example, they are able to work with you. You would still have to abide by the rules that apply differently depending on where you are getting your grant from, wherever you're getting that that source of funding from. It will depend on their rules and regulations for it, and you will have to contact the grant manager, the program officer, or someone in charge of that just to make sure you're within compliance for that. Thank you guys so much for the likes on TikTok, and thank you so much for the likes on YouTube. I appreciate it, guys. But let me see what else, if I'm missing something. It would have been, oh yeah, donorship as well. That's the one I missed. Besides everything I just said, donorship is another one. Okay. You can't, essentially overall, you can't be defined by your gender. That's all it is. And possibly your sexuality, you cannot. That's what DEI was like. Oh, well, because I'm this gender, I should be able to get this funding. Let me see. I'm just looking at my notes again just to make sure I didn't leave anything out for you guys. But yeah, that's that's it. I think I covered all the bases. What I will do is I feel like I need to make a like much longer video than this one, but I felt like I had to do like a little short drive-by one just to let you guys know what's going on. And I'm attempting to go live more just so I can get that point across. And if I miss anything, please let me know in the comments, or pick a topic. Like, if you want, what topics would you like me to speak more on that are grant related, or if they're not, I'm open to that. I want to talk more about Doge. That's the fence of the government, whatever. I want to talk more about that because it does affect government contracts for those of us who are already doing Gov Con, such as myself. It affects us in a good way. I hear this is just by what I heard. The payouts, the contract payouts will be a lot shorter. You won't have to wait a full 90 days, but more like 60 days. So I want to get more in that. Unfortunately, I do not have time, but I will, there's always tomorrow, or there's always later on today. We'll see. We'll see. But thank you guys so much for your time. Thank you for your support, and I will be back with another video. But again, this is part 6 to the fate of the federal funding freeze and our future.